Look, you can't receive what's coming next if you keep holding on to what was. Let me tell you, something that I had to learn the hard way. Holding on is easy. Releasing is hard. And Isaiah says, forget the former things and do not dwell on the past. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, let go of what no longer serves you. You are becoming. This is telling us that release is a requirement for evolution. There was a season in my life where I kept trying to hold on to things, kept trying to drag old relationships and old habits into the future. I kept trying to say, oh, I can make this work. I can fix this. I can hold on to this. We can still grow. But every time I tried to do something, it felt like I was carrying dead weight. My spirit felt heavier and heavier, and things got drearier and drearier. Right? Then one day I realized something that changed me. That I wasn't losing people, right? I was just losing the version of myself that were tied to keeping them. I wasn't grieving the relationship. I was grieving the identity that I had when I was in it. And that's when it really hit me that release isn't about letting go of them. It's about letting go of who you had to be to keep them. All right, let me ask you this. How many things are you still holding on? Not because they're good for you, but because they're familiar. How many people are you keeping around in your life? Not because they help you out, but because you're afraid of the silence that comes with their leaving. Right? You've been so used of them being there with you for whenever and however they were, you don't know how to act. Right? How many old versions of yourself are you still performing? Because you don't know who you are without those other things in your life. Here's the truth. You can't step into the next chapter while dragging the debris of your last one. Right? Release is not loss. Release is alignment. Every spiritual system teaches us this. Jesus says every branch that does not bear fruit must be cut away. The Upanishad says freedom begins where attachment ends. They're all telling us, right? They're all telling us that you cannot rise while holding on to the weight that holds you down. Release is not rejection. Release is recalibration. It's a spiritual pruning. It's the universe clearing space for what's aligning for you ahead. And the fact of the matter is what you refuse to release becomes that very thing that restricts you. So if you've been feeling heavy, stuck, feel like life is trying to pull you forward, but something's always holding you back, here's your words for the day. Let go of it. Not out of anger, not out of fear, but out of alignment. Release the version of you that survived, right? Make room for the new version of you that's becoming, that's ready to live. Because the truth is that you're not losing anything. You're making space for everything that's coming. And when you finally release what no longer serves you, you will rise to who you were truly meant to be.